Hey guys, welcome into another video. Today we're going to be testing the new Glaminatrix Sugar and Spice Palette. I've actually seen quite a lot of reviews already go up on this palette, so I'm by no means one of the first. I even feel like a lot of people received this in PR, but I did order mine on launch day. It is out of stock currently, but they are restocking it, and it says that on their website they will have it restocked by mid-September. So I'm assuming in the next 3 weeks or so it will be back and available for purchase. I did purchase mine for $54.41, which is the converted US dollars. I'm really just jumping right into it. We're going to be doing swatches. I'm going to create one look. I'm not going to do two looks today out of this palette. I think some of the mattes in here might make it a little bit tricky for me, but I was also hoping to film another video testing some other new products, so I want to just kind of keep a cohesive look. I'm just going to do one look, but if you guys are interested in seeing other looks, let me know and I would happily put that up. This is vegan and cruelty free. It says it comes with 3 duochromes, 3 multichromes, 1 sparkling shimmer, and 8 pigmented mattes. So here's the color story. I did swatch this shade right here. Other than that, I haven't touched this palette. There is 2 mattes on the bottom row here, and then in the middle is primarily all of the matte shades. It's a really grungy palette, and a lot of these tones and shades I wouldn't normally reach for, but I have the Nearly Natural palette from Glaminatrix, and it's one of my favorites. So when I saw that they were releasing this with a ton of shimmers that looked quite delightful, I decided that I was definitely going to get it, and they shipped really quickly. I just think that some of these shades are kind of a wash on me. This one is more of my skin tone, so it might not show up. This one is kind of a brightening shade in Merengue. It's kind of on the yellow side, so you could probably pair it with this one, but I'm going to do kind of a deeper, kind of smokier look today, and I'm going to be playing with primarily these 3 shades. I may not even touch this one right here, so I may just be playing with this 2 mattes on the end, but I want to go ahead and I want to swatch the whole palette out for you guys. So the way that I swatch this, if you guys are unfamiliar with my videos, let me hold it right side up. I actually start swatching from, left to right, top to bottom. So I will call out the shades since they are here. So here is Vanilla. It is like a really smooth, soft duochrome. So there's Vanilla. I love this. It's a green to yellow shift, and it's really smooth. This next one is more chunky, but it's also still very smooth. This is Fennel. It's also another duochrome. Man, they are so smooth. Nutmeg is a little bit more on the chunky side, but not as chunky as this next one. I did describe these shades as like liquid metal. This one especially, because it has a thickness about it. These shimmers are really honestly worth, in my opinion, what you pay for this palette outside of even liking any of these mattes. Right, this next one is the super chunky one that came slightly broken. It's in the shade Mustard. I'm gonna swatch it across my wrist. You can see how chunky it is. Wow. And it's not as light reflecting in the viewfinder as it is in my mirror here. This is definitely another duochrome, but it's very soft. It's one of those purple green shifts. It's called Star Anise, A-N-I-S-E. Wow. Really strong duochrome. Do you guys see that? Wow, it's one of the strongest, smoothest duochromes I've actually ever seen. I don't have a ton that do this flip so obviously. The next 5 are all the mattes. This is Merengue, which is super pale. I feel like it's a white shade, but it could be just an off-white shade. It's not much to write home about. I'm really kind of surprised they threw that in, unless there's a lot of people who like these brightening shades. You guys tell me. This one is Brulee. Again, this is the shade that won't really show up on my eyes. It won't even do anything on top of an eyeshadow primer. This next one is called Sticky Date, and it looks like a gray toned taupe shade, but it almost has a hint of green in it. This is the shade I'm most excited to play with. It's called Brownie. Man, all of these mattes are really buttery soft. The 2 lighter ones were a little bit difficult to swatch, but the last 2 were incredibly smooth, carried all the way through the end of the swatch. For me personally, that's always a big deal. This one is the black shade. Whoa, Whoa, licorice. Wow, that might be one of the most pigmented blacks that I have in my collection. Actually, this is another matte shade. So this would be the 6th. It's a bright yellow called Taffy. These lighter shades are not my favorite in terms of pigmentation. They just aren't my colors either, but I will definitely find enjoyment in all of the metallics, shimmers, and duochromes. All right, this next one is another metallic. It's called Lavender. Really pretty, but much lighter. This next one is the matte Lavender. It's in Gumdrop. Here we go. Yeah, these lighter ones are light in pigmentation, not just in shade. This next one is called Basil. This looks like a blue to purple duochrome. I'm of course getting to my elbow here. I should have done some of these a little bit tighter. I see that now, but I think I can get this last one, which is in Mint, which is just a mint green at the very, very base of my elbow. I was able to get that last shade on there, but it's really kind of hard for you guys to see. It was much more pigmented. It was like the most pigmented of all of the lighter mattes. I'm most excited about these shimmer shades, but I'm going to take this one right here, which is in Brownie, and I'm gonna build my whole matte shadow off of that, and then we'll deepen it up, I think, with the black. Okay, so I'm gonna take the Brownie shade and I'm gonna start it in the outer corner, and I'm really going to sweep it inwards. And I'm going to let the Star Anise shade, that really, really soft duochrome, be the highlight of the show here. And then I'll deepen up probably the lower part of the lid on the outer corner with the black shade in Licorice. And I think that's how I want to do it. I definitely want to get use out of that really, really soft duochrome. I just think that would be fun for you guys to see. So I'm taking a not clean, but I have wiped off BK Beauty 206 brush, and I'm going to take Brownie, and I'm going to just start it in this outer corner, and I really just want to diffuse this shade out as much as I can. And I didn't do my base or my complexion very specifically to account for any cleanup that I need to do, because I was nearly certain there was going to be some. Okay, so that shade pulled a lot more gray than it did brown. It was much more brown when it was kind of swatched. I mean, even here, it definitely has a browner tone. But once you start kind of like diffusing the shade out, it definitely looks more gray on my skin tone. It might just pull gray, period, on anybody's skin tone, because it does have kind of a lot of gray in the pigment, but it blended really easily. It didn't overblend or anything, and sometimes these deeper shades will do that. So I'm gonna clean off my brush, and I'm gonna use the same brush. I'm gonna go into Licorice, and I'm gonna tap it in very slightly, because I wanna deepen up this lower part, the outer corner of the lower lid. That even may have been a little too much. So I'm gonna spend a little bit of time kind of smoking it out after I clean off my brush. I blended it in a little bit. It deepened it up slightly. I'm just kind of cleaning up the outer edges. I almost feel like I want to add more. Like, I do want it to be a little bit darker or distinguishable from the other shade. Once you kind of diffuse this matte black out, it starts to look a lot like the other shade. So I think I'm just gonna kind of pack it and leave it, because I'm really trying to do something deep deeper than I normally do. And I think that's pretty much it for now. Let's get this shimmer on the lid. This one right here is in Star Anise. So holding the palette right side up, this is the shade that I'm going to go into, and I'm going to take it straight on my finger. I think a really, really soft shade like this would do well with my finger. And I'm just taking this one above my crease. I try and take shimmers like this above where I normally crease, so that I get more lid space to show off the duochrome. Because a lot of times on hooded lids, or at least mine, I have a hard time getting these duochromes to really hold duochrome-y so that you can see the actual shift in the shades if I don't take it over a large surface. So I'm trying to just bring it above my crease. And I'm gonna take just a little pointer brush and really get into this inner corner that I can't get in with my finger. Okay, now I'm just going to kind of blend those two shades together, the matte and the duochrome. And then I'm just gonna slightly deepen up this outer corner one more time. I think that's it for this side. I'm actually gonna take a different brush, and I'm gonna take that Sticky Date shade, and I'm actually gonna try and, it has a little bit of green stain on it, but it is a clean brush. I'm gonna see if I can give the outer edges just a little bit more blending. I don't know if this is really gonna do much. All right, now I'm going to repeat the same steps that I did on this eye and finish my left. Okay, I definitely want to incorporate some different shades into the lower lash line. I want to clean this up just a little bit. This is my eye that like kind of insets right here, so I try and make sure that I get kind of a precise line on this side. So even though I'm going to take this brownie shade in the outer corner, I'm going to run Gumdrop in the inner corner. I'm also going to take Vanilla right here as an inner corner highlight, and I'm going to go in that order. Okay, so I finished the lower lash line. I didn't go into the inner corner yet. I need to finish my base makeup, and I will even throw on some lashes, and then we'll come back and then I will throw that vanilla shade in the inner corner. So I'll see you guys shortly. Okay, I put on the lashes, but I didn't finish the eyes so that we could do them on camera. So I did throw on some new lashes. These are the Sephora lashes in the style Irresistible. These are new to me. I haven't tried these before, but so far I really like this band. I also wanted to mention, before I started the eyeshadow, I did prime my eyes with the Juvia's Place eyeshadow primer, and I did set my eyes all over with the Dior Backstage Powder No Powder. I set all over my face with this. So to finish up the eyes, you guys, I want to throw in the new Supernova Multi-Chrome Gel Liners from Moira Beauty. This one is in the shade 05 Flare, and it's kind of a, I want to say like an orange and green. I was trying to kind of get it relatively close to the duochrome, but I don't think it is. I'm just gonna go for it anyway. Actually, I do think that that matches the duochrome quite a bit. And yeah, I actually think that the flip inside the duochrome, they look very similar. So now I'm gonna tightline my upper lid with the Surf Proof Easy Glider Eye Definer from Cali Ray in Night Diving. I have only used this once, but so far it seems really pigmented and it doesn't transfer. Okay, and then finally, I want to take just a regular felt tip liner. I'm taking the Epic Ink Liner from NYX, and I just want to take it in the top right here between, kind of fill in this space just between the beginning of my eye and the lash. I'm going to throw on mascara to the bottom lashes with the Huda Beauty One Coat Wow mascara. I do not know if I have tried this on the lower lashes yet, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Yeah, that's actually really nice for the lower lashes. That's one of the easiest mascaras, or easiest lower lash mascara I have ever applied. Okay, and then the final step that I wanted to do with the eye look, I'm gonna take the shade Vanilla and just pop it into the inner corner. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Wow. That is punchy. That actually might have been like too much. Okay, that is the completed look. I am going to be listing everything that I used to create the eye look in the description box so that you guys know. I want to give my final thoughts on the palette. I chose to do a really dark look today. I kind of knew that I was when I saw this palette when it arrived, because a lot of the other tones I told you guys just aren't really my cup of tea. I don't like a lot of pastels. I'm not really into, I don't know, I almost feel like this is kind of a neon shade, or it's teetering kind of like on neon. Those really aren't my kind of tones. So this personally in the mattes department is not my cup of tea, and there isn't really anything here I can see myself grabbing for work. Having said that, I do think that the quality of the mattes is amazing. I didn't experience any over blending. They seem very pigmented. So I think the quality of the mattes that I used, which was 4 of the shades, I did take this one in the bottom part of the lower lash line. Honestly, it was really beautiful. Like, I was so glad that I took that into the kind of inner corner here. I really thought that it was pretty. For me, the reason that I bought this is because of the shimmers. I can wear a lot of these shimmers. I can get away with wearing a lot of these shimmers on an everyday basis. I think the color story in and of itself overall isn't something that I will reach for to build an individual eye look with this palette, but I will for sure be grabbing it as a companion palette for the shimmer formula. So those are really my final thoughts on it. I think that it's really good quality. It doesn't disappoint. Of course, I only really played with those 2 metallic shades, but the duochrome was absolutely beautiful, super easy to work with in that vanilla shade. It was so punchy and pigmented going into the inner corner. I am gonna play with that shade next. All over the lid. I cannot wait. That's my review. That is a 1 look. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys are new to my channel, I would love for you to subscribe. I'm out of here for today, you guys, and I hope to catch you all in my next video.